Man, those were two intense games yesterday in the association. But if you missed out on them, you came to the right place. Welcome to TV's Daily NBA Recap, where we recap yesterday's action in a short amount of time. Let's go. The first game I want to discuss is Game 2 in the Eastern Conference semifinal between the Toronto Raptors and the Boston Celtics, in which Boston takes a 2-0 series lead in a 102-99 victory. On the Boston side of things, Jason Tatum went off for 34 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, with Marcus Smart in the fourth quarter scoring 16 out of his 19 points, hitting 5 threes in a 3-minute stretch. On the Toronto Raptors side of things, OG Anunoby, very good game from him, 20 points, 7 rebounds. Fred VanVleet chipped in with 9 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, struggling from the field though, going 8 for 22. And Ibaka had a great game off the bench, scoring 17 points, grabbing 9 rebounds. And oh man, I mean, it was a better effort from the Raptors going into this game. A lot of better, offensive movement and all that. They were able to lock down defensively. But that fourth quarter, the Raptors went into that fourth quarter with an 8-point lead, and the Celtics got the lead back in about 5 minutes, and Marcus Smart was just absolutely killing it. This guy was turned into freaking Ray Allen, this guy had the Celtics jersey and all. I mean, this guy just completely went off. He felt like he just couldn't miss, and there were multiple times even looked at him man, that could have been an and one. We're lucky about that. I mean, luckily only one of them were, but it was extremely frustrating to watch as a Raptor fan, just hitting constant three after constant three. And then you're like, man, this is it's not even Tatum, it's not even Walker, it's not even Brown. It's freaking Marcus Smart. The last 2 games, this guy has killed us on multiple facets of the game. His defense has been totally annoying, and now this guy's hitting is taking over quarters. That's ridiculous and stuff. But the Raptors, throughout the first 3 quarters, they were fighting hard. I mean, Siakam, still lots of questions about his dribbling ability and just being able to isolate himself. Larry struggled from the field today, going for 16. VanVleet didn't have the best game either. But you gotta take advantage of these type of games. OG's giving you 20 points. You have Ibaka giving you 17. You need that. These type of performances are not going to come around that often, especially from OG. You have to take advantage of these games, and they just weren't able to. And sure, you can point to the fact that Jason Tatum had 14 free throws, the same as the whole Raptor team and stuff like that. But almost the same as the whole Raptor team. But still, they need to, they just need to find a way to close out these games. And this is my fear before the series. They have Tatum, they have Walker, they have Brown. I mean, Kemba Walker was the one who took this game home for them at the end. I mean, he struggled throughout this game as well, but he scored 11 out of his 17 points in that quarter. So he was able to even help out a bunch in that quarter. Yeah, so they just have to find a way to get some help in the fourth quarter. Who's going to be able to step up? It doesn't look like Siakam's going to be able to do it. I mean, he has one move in the lane. He has a spin move. Can VanVleet step up in the next game? Can Kyle Lowry? Because it's looking kind of dire. It's looking kind of rough for the Raptors right now. And Game 3 is an absolutely pivotal game because we all know the stats that teams are 0-189 who are 0-3 down in the series are 0-189. And no one has done it before. It's basically kind of calling your senses or something like that. And the Raptors just need someone to step up in these late moments. Or it's either that or just get to them, beat up on them early so you don't have to be in those situations. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nick Nurse, comes in with a new game plan on Thursday, I believe, the next game. And because the Raptors haven't reached 100 points in the series yet, the Celtics have been very good defensively as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. But as a Raptor fan, it's been extremely frustrating to watch. And, hopefully they can bounce back. I mean, they did it last year against Milwaukee. Let's see if they can do it this year against Boston. I trust Nick Nurse as my coach to make some adjustments, but the guys have to step up. You can only do so much on the game plan. They need to step up. The players need to step up on the basketball court. Then we're going to move on to the second game of the evening. And this game, just as intense as the first game. We have the Denver Nuggets versus the Utah Jazz in a Game 7. And if you were looking for a fast-paced, high-octane offense, Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, absolutely fantastic in the series, going back and forth, high-scoring. If you were hoping for that in Game 7, that's not what you got at all. sure it was a close game, but this game was ugly. The Denver Nuggets close out the series, completing the 3-1 comeback on the Utah Jazz, winning 80 to 78. You heard me right. In 2020, a game finished 80-78. And it was surprising that this was the score because these two teams have been just super high-octane offense throughout this entire series. And the fact that, it was a close game. It was intense near the end, but at the same time, 80 to 78, Jamal Murray struggled throughout this game. He had 17 points on the evening, but 7 for 21 shooting. Rough shooting night for him. Even Donovan Mitchell on the other side of things, 22 points, 9 rebounds, led his team in scoring, but on 22 shots. It was just a tough game to watch. And the fact that you had some quarters, especially from Denver, where they only scored 30 points in the second half. 30! And this is this was a good comeback performance from the Utah Jazz. They were down 19 at some point. And honestly, it just evaporated at a snap of a finger, really. It really did. Donovan Mitchell was hitting shots, Conley was hitting buckets. And then late in the game, Donovan Mitchell wasn't taking over. It was freaking Rudy Gobert hitting and-ones, dominating things, catching a lob, especially with less than a minute remaining. Those are the type of plays. And it was just ugly. If you just look at this fourth quarter, maybe 4 minutes or less onwards, people just looked gassed. People looked tired. People were grabbing at their shorts, but they were playing hard. Donovan Mitchell took the assignment of guarding Jamal Murray throughout the entire game, and Jamal Murray vice versa. This is a very, very intense game to the very end, and it really did come down to the last possession because with 90 seconds left, the Jazz had the ball. They used both the timeouts because they got trapped at the half court. So they started at the back court. Donovan Mitchell has the ball. He goes up. He turns the ball over. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This is how it's going to end. Then Jamal Murray takes on the court. Passes to Torrey Craig. Easy layup. Rims out. I'm like, what the hell? He missed the layup? And I'm still at the edge of my sheet. Mike Conley gets the ball. 3 seconds left. Dribbles down the court. Pulls up from 3. Toilet bowls out. That was rough. That was a rough ending for Utah. Especially knowing that they came back from 19 points down. They had a 4-point lead with, I believe, 3 minutes remaining, and then Denver. I'm not sure if it was 3 minutes remaining or not, but then Denver changed the tide and all that. And they weren't able to close it out. It was rough. You could see Donovan Mitchell just lying on the court at the end of the game. That was such a tough ending to swallow. Jamal Murray picked them up. They dapped up at the end of the game. It was a nice moment. But Denver Nuggets complete the 3-1 comeback. I believe they're only the 17th team in NBA history to do so. It was a very, very entertaining series. Obviously not the final game that we wanted. Very, very ugly for sure. Nikola Jokic, I didn't even talk about him. 30 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists. Felt like the only guy who can get his offense going. And this guy's he's the best player on this Denver Nuggets team. Probably the best player in the league, honestly. And he stepped up when they needed him, which is great because they needed every single one of those points because no one else could get things going. So, very, very entertaining game. Actually, scratch that. It wasn't that entertaining. If you could tell me one highlight from this game, I'd be very surprised. Even that Jokic, game winner was him, ugly just throwing a little hook shot over Gobert to be able to win the game. So, good one for Denver. They're going to be facing the LA Clippers in the Thursday game. And a rough way for the Utah Jazz to go out. They're already getting 3-1 memed and all that, which is highly unfortunate. But, very entertaining series. It's very good for the first round as well. One of the most intense ones I remember in recent memory. And Denver came out with the series win, so good for them. And certainly the Utah Jazz have to go home. There's going to be some questions going into the offseason to see what's going to happen, but I think they're going to still be in good shape, especially Donovan Mitchell. This guy's going to be a freaking star. And this is the end of today's NBA recap. Thank you guys for watching. If you are on YouTube, remember to like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're on IGTV, leave a follow, drop a like, and comment who do you think is going to win between the Clippers and the Denver series that are starting tomorrow. Leave your predictions down below. But yeah, thank you guys for taking your time out of your day to watching this. I'm TV on Basketball. I'm going to be back tomorrow with another podcast, with another daily NBA recap. Maybe a podcast because my schedule is kind of weird this week, so I might have a podcast up for you tomorrow. So yeah, this is the end of today's recap. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys. Peace.